Hey friends, hello, Angela, coming to you live from my Instagram page. Want to talk today on day 15 of the 90-day challenge, all about the mind-body connection and how when your mind won't listen, your body will start to display symptoms of interesting things. So, emotional trauma can often be so stored in our bodies and cause us to not be able to, when we have these unprocessed emotions, all of a sudden there's so much going on in our mental health and our mind, and we get so bogged down with things going on in our head. And when we don't notice the signs of these little emotions, because emotions are like little red flags. Hello, hi, how are you? They're like little red flags telling us, hey, I'm trying to speak to you. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to tell you something. I'm expressing myself in the only way I know how, is through emotions. And the longer we ignore those signs, the more higher chance we are to start having some physical symptoms. Now, for me, this is like years of going through things and ignoring my body and ignoring signs and all these emotions stirring up from trauma and betrayals and stress and self-inflicted stress and not self-inflicted, all of it. Lifetime worth of stress and trauma building up to the point where when I finally had this, my body gave up enough to the point where I was running around trying to keep up with everyone in end stages of heart failure, still ignoring all of the symptoms. I could go on this topic for like hours or days, honestly, but what I wanted to share today was just how the body speaks to us when the mind won't listen. And I would just push past and beat myself up and think, how come I can't ride my bike fast as everybody else? How come I can't do everything as easy as everybody else? And beat myself up and think, oh, you need more cardio. You're not exercising enough. You're not doing enough. Meanwhile, all my body wanted to do was slow down and begged me to slow down. And here I just pushed it until I looked out that window in the hospital one day and thought, at first it was, why me? And then it was, how did I get here? And then it was going back to basics. And when I went back, all the way back, I could see how when I was probably going back even to 12 years old, when I had like 3 paper routes. And then I'd have 3 jobs as I became a teenager. And I would work day and night. And then I thought, well, how do I do more? Well, then I work during the day and then I work a graveyard shift. So then you're working 24 hours a day. And I just think of all the times that my body was screaming at me, showing me so many signs, and I ignored them. And what I don't want for you is your body to finally give out and be like, I've given you so much warning. I have given you so many chances to listen to me, and you would not take any of them. You decided to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. This is not how I live my life now. But that was how I used to live my life. Go, go, go. And so there's so much internal things going on with my mental health. There's so much internal inner child trauma. There was so much trauma and unworthiness and guilt and shame of never being enough. And I see that now as I've worked through a lot of this stuff. But it's so interesting to me to really see how, if I go back to even just becoming a teenager, how much being an empathic person as well made me constantly absorb other people's feelings and behaviors, and I let a lot of that, not knowing a lot of times as when you're young, how much that's absorbing into you and how much you're running around thinking you're never enough, people pleasing everywhere you go, being the nice person, but being able to sense how other people's reactions are going to be so you know what to say and what to do in so many different scenarios. And I think that after reading that, I've read a lot of Dr. Gabor Mate's books, and he talks a lot about how empaths have a lot of issues with disease. And a lot of it stems back to people pleasing, nice people. And you should read the book, what's that last book that he wrote? Oh, The Myth of Normal. That was a fantastic book. So powerful, so much good information in there. It was actually crazy. But there's so much connection with emotional authenticity and spiritual growth. And so it took a lot of self-awareness for me to come to the point where I actually realized that the signs were all there. It's just me. I chose not to listen. I chose to ignore it. And I chose that because as a silent unchoosing, as a not knowing, as a trying to do everything for everybody and be there for everyone. And I really just want to let everybody know that when you don't look out for your own self, because we were taught as kids that it's selfish to look out for your own self. But the truth is, when you're not looking out for yourself, it means you're looking out for everyone else. And when you're looking out for everyone else, you're lost in the dust and you're last. And self-care was never a thing when I was growing up. That wasn't something we did. If anything, we thought that was selfish. We shouldn't be doing that. So, but as you get older, you realize that if you don't care about yourself and all you focus on is worrying about everybody else and making sure that they're all good to go, you are not taking care of your own body, and it will manifest out in physical symptoms and so many dangerous physical areas. So do not wait until your body starts giving out. Do not wait until there's no return. Do not wait until it's too late. We're just come from a generation, some of us, who we were not made to put ourselves, we were not told to make ourselves priority in any way. And a lot of us were told that our productivity is tied to our worthiness and how much we can do and get done, and that makes us worthy. When that's obviously, we all know that's not the case. We know now so clearly that when we take care of us and fill our own cup overflowing, that is what we give to everybody else. But when we're coming from the dry cup, trying to give, we're depleting. We're like the desert is dry. There's nothing left. The drop, you can dump the cup upside down. There's just no drops left for you. And so I'm on a mission to share this information, because this isn't even my first health crisis. I had a cleaning company when I was young, about 17 employees, and I ran that whole business, and I would run after each of the people when they called in sick or whatever. We'd have a very high profile clientele, and I'd have to get the stuff done. And I would be the one that would have to run out behind everybody and fix the messes and do the things. Didn't matter if I had worked all day already. It was my reputation, and so I would go do that, and I would burn myself out. I would burn the candle at both ends. I would go until my body was crumbling and still push further, just keep going. I still remember that feeling. Didn't matter if I'd already cleaned like 5 houses that day. Keep going. And during that time, I burnt my back out so bad that I ended up having to have back surgery. And then I had complications because I didn't know how to, it was such a long healing process that I didn't know how to allow myself to heal, because heaven forbid I be lazy on the couch to try and heal. No, you got to keep going and push through it. That time I wasn't learning yet. And then I had complications and got flown back to the big hospital for another whole round of all that. And still in there, knew that there was more to life than this, but thought the only way to get there was to push myself and physically get ahead. We live in a world now where we can make money without killing our bodies, without totally depreciating everything that we have in ourselves. But then I thought there was no other way. I thought there was no other way, and I didn't listen. And so if you're getting anything from this, I really want you to notice the little red flags. And the more going on in our mind about all of these things that were not good enough, how our mental health, it affects everything. It affects our whole physical body, our whole spiritual body, everything. We're all so interconnected. So interconnected. So please remember, fill your cup overflowing. And that's the cup you give from. The overflow. All of the overflow. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health will follow. Because since I've changed my entire lifestyle, I've never probably been so healthy. Mentally, emotionally, and physically. Even with a new heart. Even on chemotherapy. So, that's what I wanted to share today. Everything is so connected, and share and give from the cup that is overflowing. That is when you give. I know it's so hard as women and mothers too, because we have to give sometimes when we're completely deprived, but it's about refilling our own self, our own well, our own cup. And I know you've heard that comment before about the cup, but it's so true. It's so important. So if you want, come over and join me in my free community on School, Create, Heal, Shine. I'd love to see you there. And if you want to go way deeper and way further, and you're into stuff that is not surface level, and you want to deep dive into complete trauma and emotional processing, we are in the middle of a program right now called the Journey of Self, with which you get full lifetime access to and live calls, and we're doing that right now. We're about halfway through, not quite, and it's amazing. So if you want to join that, it's called the School of Purpose. But feel free to join my free community, Create, Heal, Shine on School. There's a link in my bio, and I'd love to see you guys there. And please remember, you're giving from the cup that's overflowing. You're not giving from the cup that's got nothing left, the drop in it that's dry and dehydrated like the desert. You are worth more than that. You want to be there for our loved ones and our children and our families. We need to take care of ourselves as women. We need to love and support ourselves. Oh, now I've got a motorbike, so I'll love you and leave you. Bye, everybody.